All new obeisances, Dandavat pranams, Gurudev, Dandavat pranams, all the devotees.
Dandavat, Dandavat. So please try to sit in the picture. And so you can, I'm going to be here, and then we all try to sit. So, okay, dear devotees, we are accompanied by others. Not all others, because some of the others are still sleeping, but we're here at the, what's the name of the retreat? Your Joy. Where's your t-shirt? Okay, we're at a joyful retreat. They'll work out the name in a moment, but it's something about, they all have t-shirts with the name on too. They were given them yesterday. But we're at a joyful retreat here in Latvia, in the countryside, and it's all very beautiful. I can show you out of the window at least. And we've come to join everybody on back to basics. And we have behind us, we have Udaran Prabhu, we have Victor, and we have Inya, and we have lots of other sleeping souls nearby. We may be joined by others. So first of all, along with the team who are already here connected on Zoom, our humble obeisances. Bancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavaranyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gora tvije namaha. And Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay, yes, I know we started with a different order, but we've come to the devotees first, so we wanted to give obeisances to the devotees. We are in fact in front of Mahaprabhu, a little distance away. Down here is Mahaprabhu, and we are always with our head to Sri Guru. So with our head at Sri Guru, the Vaishnavas and Mahaprabhu, let us begin. And actually, I'm so used just these days for having a translation and wanting to pause so somebody can translate. Because I don't speak Russian and I don't speak Latvian, and we are in Latvia. So whenever we're talking, we usually are talking and pausing. Rema Sindhu Prabhu, South Africa, but that looks like an Indian window to me. Maybe it's a South African window too. Hare Krishna.
He is in India. He's in Tarakeshwar, Maharaj.
Oh, is he? I thought it was an Indian window. All right. So, dear devotees, we have come together. Praneshri Devirasi, was there something that we had left over from last week? Can you remind us?
No, Maharaj, there were no questions pending.
Okay.
No questions.
So is there now a question or a contribution or a theme or a yes, contribution means a reflection, something like that?
Who wants to share something?
Anybody? I'm trying to find now back to basics on Facebook, because we do have good internet connection.
And because we already solved the problem and Lila Moy can already live stream to Facebook, Maharaj.
He can already do what to Facebook? Oh, he can now.
Live stream? Yes. Yes, we were having so many issues, but now everything is okay.
Yes. Okay, now you can see yourselves on Facebook too. So today we have actually very good internet, and now I have the challenge of how to see who is there on Facebook. Let me see. So anyway, dear devotees, we are together And our obeisances to you all. Here we can perhaps start, if you like, by saying, here we are, we're in Latvia, and maybe not a huge program, but a sweet and sweet, happy, and about 37 people. And there are more who come and go, like on a daily basis, because we're 7 kilometers from Resekne, so 7 kilometers is not far away, and on a good road. And then you just drive off the road a little bit, and then we're here in the forest, in a forested area, and it really is a beautiful place. It's actually log, and the extension of the building is, okay, it's cement, it's concrete, but it's done in a nice way. And we appreciate when the sun comes out. Here we can appreciate the sun, because Latvia has been quite rainy. And yesterday the sun was out, and we're out in the sun. And then it made me kind of think, how powerful is the sun? Because the rays are so strong, even though we're quite a bit north, the rays are so strong, even from such a distant planet or this distant place as the sun. And then, my goodness, how well Krishna has arranged everything. Yes, I know, through Lord Brahma and through Surya Dev and all the other devas who manage everything. But Krishna is the supreme manager of all managers. And he's also the one from which everything has come, big and small. So sometimes we're amazed by the big things. And sometimes we're amazed by the tiny things. Sometimes we're amazed by the subtle things. There's one lady here who is a famous astrologer, also a teacher of astrology. And then you see those who study astrology, they understand that planets and constellations, etc., they're not just, by chance, some balls of matter that have blown from a big bang and just floating around in the sky. They all have subtle influences. And so those subtle influences, no doubt, are bringing about as instruments the karma of each individual soul. But all the planets, they have more to them than meets the eye, that just, a big round lump of rock floating in the sky. And so everywhere, when we study any department and become specialist in that department, if you like, then we see the laws of nature, the gross, if we can say so, the gross laws of nature and the subtle laws of nature. Even I heard recently that the scientists are still trying to understand about gravity. They know the symptoms of gravity. We don't fly off in the sky when we're sitting on the ground. That's gravity, as you already know. We know the symptoms of it, but how does it actually work? Yes, they got mathematical formulas, etc., but the formula is showing the result of how it works. But actually how it works is another matter. And light also sometimes acts as a particle, sometimes acts as a wave. As the Americans say, go figure. Did I get the right expression, Jeevana? Go figure. Interesting expression. Yeah, I'll try to figure that one. Anyway, we're at the retreat, and different departments of the retreat to attract different people to come and to attend. And we are here with our part of our devotee section, and other parts, including Keshavananpu, in the log cabin area upstairs. Nice, also nice rooms, everything nicely. It's a sweet place, very suitable, with lots of place to walk and grounds. And we are here. Principally, it's all arranged by Suresh Krishna Prabhu and Udaran Prabhu, with a little help from their friends, with maybe a lot of help from their friends. But it's arranged as a suitable place to be introduced to Krishna consciousness. So, following in the footsteps of various festivals around the world, and of course in this part of the world, the Veda Life series of festivals in Russia and Ukraine, and now in Latvia, and in Latvia also have done in Riga and close to Riga, different places, and now here in Rezegne, we are continuing. So public reaching, where's Chintamani? Oh, Jayadev who is there, so you can let Chintamani know that she's going to be famous forever for her translation of the preaching world to public reaching world. Hare Krishna. There is a hand up from a flower. The flower's
Yes,
name.
Maharaj. That flower has a question in the chat.
And that flower can type. That's very good. Hare Krishna. Oh, that's Dana. Yes, Dana. Welcome. And anyway, they have some, anyway, okay, I was reminded of your name because they have some chain here. Is it Circle K? Something like that. So it's Circle K. So I think, oh, Dana K. We are reminded of you here in Latvia. Priyanana Devidasi, what should we, I see what, should we take to heart in KC?
In Krishna
Close.
consciousness, close to our heart. What should we
Close.
keep close to our heart in Krishna consciousness?
Oh, well, immediately we can say Guru and Gauranga. Immediately we can say the Vaishnavas. Immediately we can say the holy name. Hare Krishna. Immediately we can say the grace, whatever gracious glance we can remember from the Vaishnavas, whatever we can keep in our pocket, that we shall keep close to our heart. As Srila Gurudev said more than once on different occasions, Gurudev said, then somebody calls and asks for, oh Gurudev, please, I've just telephoned you and been talking, and say, please bless me. And then Gurudev saying, well, you asked me that last week, I gave you blessing. What happened to that? What happened to the blessing? Did it fall out of your pocket? So in our pocket, close to our heart, our pocket, our chest pocket, then we should try to keep the blessings that have come to us, whatever good thing that we can recall, a gracious glance from Srila Gurudev, a glance from the devotees, a glance of satisfaction, of happiness. Those things we should keep with us, close to our heart. Remember the affection that is flowing from above to us, to our hard hearts. And let us try to unharden, let us try to soften our hearts by their grace. So what should we take to heart in Krishna consciousness? Well, Udaran Prabhu, are you going to be ready to answer a question? But you'll have to come close to the microphone. So we have Udaran Prabhu, and yes, you are all witness, as is Paramatma. I've put him on the spot, which means I'll be put on the spot one day too, taken off guard. Here's Udaran Prabhu, our Latvian and Goloka Vrindavan, because it's all waiting for him in the future, by the grace of Guru and Gauranga, our Latvian Udaran Prabhu.
Oh, what can I add? Actually, Maharaj also everything mentioned before, so I don't know what to say. But we, as organizer of this festival, so we're thinking about two things. So first thing, that introduce the new people to Krishna consciousness, to Bhakti Yoga, and the second reason why we are doing is that gather together the Vaishnavas, to be with the Vaishnavas, to have their association. So this is all and all. So we need to clarify ourselves. So how we can do this only by association with the higher Vaishnavas. So we need to take it in our hearts.
Is there any verse in particular you think we should try to keep close to our heart?
Of course, I would suggest to keep all of the verses of Shikshashtakam.
Oh, Shikshastakam, because all verses. Okay, Shikshastakam. Yes. And which, anyone in particular?
We know that everything is in the holy names. So how we can purely chant the glories of the holy names just by a third Shikshashtakat, another piece, Nichuna, Tarora piece, Amanina, Munadina,
Kitanya
Tanya,
Sada
Sada,
Hari.
Hari.
Okay, now Gurudev is smiling. We make Gurudev smile by reciting this. Jai. And what would you like to give any mini report from the festival here? Something that you'd like to say? Share?
Well, before this retreat, we had two festivals. One of them was here in Rezekne, and the second one was second biggest Latvian town. It's in Daugavpils. So we had there a few programs about yoga, about astrology, and also there was an Indian dancers group, and with everything like this, we had also Kishwananda Prabhu who told, who gave a good lecture and sang the bhajans, and also we have had Maharaj's lections, and this was pretty the same programs in Daugavpils and Rezekne. So after that, we moved here to a retreat place, and here is we try to introduce new people to Krishna consciousness. We got morning, evening programs, reading, not reading, but introduction to our books, spiritual books, and also talks, and yeah, a lot of prasadam. Hopefully, everyone's enough to feed, but yes, to feed stomach and mind and so on like that.
Jai. And yes, lots of prasadam. And they're all very organized. They've got a volunteer list for those who are cooking and cleaning and doing, just like in a temple. There's a volunteer list. You are a volunteer. No, but it is in cooperation with the devotees, and a very sweet mood. And we're doing our best to try to convince the yogi type of people that yoga is taking us to Krishna and Goloka Vrindavan. So we're trying. All right.
Maharaj, excuse me, may I steal a minute from you?
Please steal more than a minute if you wish. I'm turning up our volume so we can hear you.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that for your Latvian, if I'm correct, program, from my side, as if it matters, I give you like 2 thumbs up or maybe 4 thumbs up, because I remember that Suresh Krishna Prabhu, when he decided to move back to his city, like small city, and we were exchanging emails, and he wrote me, yeah, I've made such decision, but like there are no devotees, almost no one to associate with. And it was like 1 year or 2 years ago. And then I just see for me, what happens now there, it's the example of pure faith. You know, one remark, before on our Russian site, harekrishna.ru, we used to have some photos from different corners of Russia, like Namahata in such and such place, and there and here. And sometimes it's just like small Namahata of 5 people from some Yaroslavl, where just grandmas and grandpas. And I mean, it's not such a big deal in terms of scale, because like 5 people. and maybe just like old persons, but you look at them and you get like super inspired, you know? If like they gather together and do something cool, prashana, chant. And I mean, here, for me, like what you are doing, like festival, now I hear the numbers, like 30 people. Wow. And then before I was also laughing, like Suresh Krishna said, okay, we are going to have festival. And I thought like, okay, like 1-2 days. But then he said like, okay, 10 days. I'm like, wow. For me, like what happens there, it's like pure inspiration, really. So like all the best wishes to you, all the good luck and like expansion and persuasion and inspiration. So like super cool to see what happens. And Maharaj, you also have opportunity to travel there. And I mean, you're like in Europe and all together. So like all the best wishes, and just know that it's very inspirational to see what happens, and thanks to faith, because actually, because I can just observe this progress from, so to say, from the very beginning, and very glad. And it's an example of what the faith can do. Like you just follow the instructions. You don't necessarily believe in yourself, or well, you shouldn't. But the result is like growing in progression. So thank you very much, and good luck to you and all the all the good things.
There's something else to keep close to our heart in KC, in Krishna consciousness. Our whatever faith we have, we must carefully guard that and keep that close to our heart. Yes, what I've got, I must treasure this. Guard our faith. Oh, some things are popping up in the chat box also. And by the way, Priyananda Didi, you know we're just down the road. We've from here or nearby here, there are signs to Moscow, and I haven't seen signs to St. Petersburg, but we're just down the road from you. But unfortunately, there's something called international border, which may not be so easy to come backwards and forwards across at the moment. But we're nearby, and it's a beautiful morning right now, but I'm remembering Prithu Prabhu's words and saying this also to the devotees. If you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes.
I can relate.
Hare Krishna. But right now, over here, the sun has just risen because we see the trees are actually, the tops of the trees are in the sun. But we on the ground level, we're not in the sun just now. Hare Krishna. So let's have a quick, yes, appreciate it. And yes, indeed. And we're giving 4 thumbs up for Suresh Krishna, for Udaran Prabhu and the devotees who brought this together. And some devotees are able to be here for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and not the whole festival. So a little bit coming and going, because believe it or not, you know, the devotees have responsible jobs. And so they've come from Riga, they're coming from Riga also, which is 3 hours away. And one couple, they came 6 hours. I don't know if their car is very slow. I didn't know that Latvia was so big. Where's
It's 500.
500 kilometers. Okay, 6 hours. There we are, 500 kilometers away. They've come for the whole retreat and they're here happily. So we're encouraged to see the sacrifice of the devotees. And by the way, we tend to get used to flying, but Hari Gopal Prabhu, he came back from Italy to Latvia by bus. It took him like solidly 2 days. I mean, days and nights, because he's poor. He said, well, don't you remember what it's like to be a student? And although he does do some like online something, it's not like a full-time job, and he is studying. So, you know, yes, and we remember what it was like to be a student. And when we were young, we used to do auto stop, hitchhike, but I haven't seen one hitchhiker, and I've even seen signs saying no auto stop, so in Italy. So I don't know if it is illegal now. But anyway, as poor people, we used to do auto stop. But just to say, you know, for the sake of sadhu sangha, for the sake of being with devotees, then devotees go to all sorts of inconvenience, even if it's difficult to do something, they are doing it. So we're happy to see devotees coming 6 hours to be here. So the Sevarupas put in the chat box, Sevarupa Devirasi. Would you like to read what you put in the chat box? Or say, or express? Is it a quote or is it you?
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, it's just me following the SoCal, the festivals they've been having, the Govinda Mela that Praneshwari did posted. Yeah, excuse my camera's off today because we've got no electricity, but I was watching a talk by, it was Rai Kishori, Didi, and Sudarshan Prabhu. And it was, I think, about 2 hours, but very inspiring. My mom and I actually watched it on Sunday. And what I took from there, or took to heart that was so beautiful, is where she was explaining how in life, everyone's going through something, and how, you know, everything will be coming to you. And sometimes you want to hide and duck away from what's coming to you. But like our gurus teach us that, you know, humility, you need to stand and take what the environment is bringing forth as a lesson. And she said something there that humility, I'm paraphrasing though, but humility is the acceptance that there is unlimited possibilities coming towards you, and for you to connect with Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, and try and see how you can be useful in that situation. So that I found that very inspiring.
Right. And not the video, but the talk, the Sevarupa Devirasi is referring to is the exact link that on the last Back to Basics that probably it's Praneshwari put in the chat box. So maybe she can revive that link.
Yes, but it was brought up by Kelly Kadambanana. She was the one who made us think about that talk, Maharaj.
Okay, and I also watched the whole thing. I mean, actually, I didn't watch the whole thing. I put it on the earphones while here at this retreat, and put it on at 1.5 the speed, so I could hear it 2 hours a little bit faster. But yes, I heard the whole talk, and it was classic Rai Kishori. It was classic Sudarshan Prabhu. And by the way, Sudarshan Prabhu, Rai Kishori, and their 3 children came with Abhinava Sundar, Kalikadamba, and Sumangala, and various devotees from Australia. And we went on a bus people reaching tour a few years ago in Australia. And it was an interesting, lively, variegated tour. And really, we saw how sweetly Rai Kishori and Sudarshan Prabhu and Rai Kishori, how sweetly they can present Krishna consciousness, like, to everybody. They can relate to, like, the 14-year-olds that are going through all the 14-year-old things, and they can, like, relate to the whole cross-section. They're business people, they're, you know, of the world. They've got their own 3 children. They have to keep their head above water in the material world, and very practical advice for everyone. And yes, I can also give a here in support of seeing that link. So I don't know if others, did anybody else follow the guidance, follow the recommendation of Kelly Kadamba Devirasi and watch that video?
I was at the Govinda Mela. So was Ivana and Eli and lots of other people, but we are present here in this meeting. So it's so nice to have everybody outside their little Zoom windows in real life.
Wonderful, wonderful to hear. And if you can recommend also other talks, etc., please send us a little link. Put if you have them now, you can pop it into the box.
Oh, I don't know if I know how to do that, but I will try my best. Vishaka, Didi had wonderful talks, and we met up at the Samadhi Pushpa for Gurudev, and there was every day there was a time slot for remembering Gurudev, and that was very nice, especially for people like who have not met Gurudev in person, so have that. And I don't know if they were all recorded.
Okay. And
I don't know.
Eli is there also, and he's with us here today. And he sent me a little video news thing, and I replied you, Eli, by video. He sent me a little video news. And when he first, and it started at Gurudev's Pushpa Samadhi there in SoCal, and for a moment I was taken off guard because it looked so much like Italy Pushpa Samadhi when you're looking just at the actual Pushpa Samadhi part. And so, like, the next door neighbor Pushpa Samadhis in the world, and very sweet. And what a wonderful place to remember Guru Maharaj, because I'm sure you've heard stories there about how Guru Maharaj said, oh, and after I leave from my body, I'll sit there in that tree, and it's got these branches, like a horizontal sort of branches. And I'll sit there and I'll watch the children play, because apparently that was a favorite playing area. And then Hasya Prabhu and Janardhan Maharaj, the devotees, they thought, yeah, this is the perfect place for Gurudev's Pushpa Samadhi, where he's already indicated he'd like to sit there. So they gave him a little temple, a sweet, beautiful little temple, as well as the tree to sit in. Hare Krishna. Beautiful. And Eli is with us with the Californian sky behind him. And that must be the sun going down on California as the sun comes up here in Latvia. Do you have a mini comment or a deep, full comment, Eli? You're visiting. Is it the first time you've come to the SoCal ashram?
Is my microphone on?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's my second time. I'm fortunate enough to go to 2 Govinda Melas now.
Okay.
And gathering with the senior devotees was, so heart-melting, and seeing how they treat the deities and how they remember Ramoy. It's really, really amazing. And there's lots of amazing senior devotees that had wonderful, heartfelt transactions with Srila Gurudev. So it was wonderful, wonderful festival.
And was wonderful means, are you back in
yes,
Salt Lake City?
Successfully home in Utah.
Actually, I forgot. It's renamed as Sweet Lake City by Munindra Maharaj.
Yes, that's all I have to say. But it's very sweet to see Gauranga Sundar with the deities there. It's like they're all together for the festival. It was wonderful.
Beautiful. And Priyananda, okay, Eli is sending a heart. Oh, Sudevi, she was just with us for a few minutes. Sorry, Sudevi, we didn't have chance to say hello or bye-bye. I saw you arrive and depart. And Priyananda started to watch that video. Yes. Muktinath Prabhu, amazing talk. Yes, wonderful. And Praneshwari Devi, a talk by Rai Kishore Dasi and Sri Govinda Mela. This is the same talk, is it?
It's the same one, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice, beautiful. Yes, and it's about people reaching. It's about preaching. And you can say another thing is it's honesty. What we can feel, we share that with others. We can't be somebody else. We have our feelings and our understanding, and we've tried to share that with others. And we need to be honest. Honesty is the best policy. So, but it's a beautiful talk. It's interactive. It's not just a lecture in a lecture hall. It's very sweet. Yes. So, dear devotees, Prema Sindhu Prabhu, would you like to share a little something from India? I can see you waving. And your microphone is off. Your South African ashram, I believe, was also featured in the Govinda Mela.
Oh, that's very great. That's very nice. And I'm here in Tarakeshwara. If you can hear me, Maharaj, I'm in Tarakeshwara.
For sure.
And
Yes, good.
Yes, one of our senior Vaishnavas, if you can remember him, he remembers you very well as Mahananda Prabhu. And he was so happy seeing you and waving at you.
Oh, you were waving. Okay, I thought it was famous. You're very small on our screen, so that's why I couldn't.
Oh, okay. And Maharaj, there isn't much to show, as you can see here, that I was going to show the Lordship Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, but the devotees are doing some renovations with the altar. So you can see the altar is closed, and the Lordship is residing in another place. They're residing in the new home, just at the back of the altar, and the altar is going through some renovations, and the kitchen. So I was going to actually show that, but there's really not much to show. And this is the actual temple in Tarakeshwara, and the main thing in Tarakeshwara, as we all know, and maybe you can explain it even further and better, that I think this is the place where Bhaktivinoda Thakur came and lived, and where he started mapping out the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If I'm right or wrong, Maharaj, you can just elaborate on that.
I would have to do a little homework, but it does have it does have its specific Vaishnava history, Tarakeshwar, and I'll have to do a little homework. It sounds right, but I can't give a confirmed yes without checking a little bit. Maybe somebody can do that while we're talking.
That is the place where Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur got inspiration from Lord Shiva to find the birthplace of Mahaprabhu in Bengal, in Mayapur.
Wow, that sounds more like it. Yes.
We know the mapping out was done when he went and resumed his service with the British government for one purpose only, so that he would have access to the old maps and the old historical references for the area of Mayapur. And from that, then the actual mapping out part of that.
He was about to go to Vrindavan, and Lord Shiva told him to go to Mayapur instead and discover the birthplace of Mahaprabhu.
Yes. And mind you, I was actually just 2-3 days ago. There's the biggest Lord Shiva temple here in I don't know if it's in this district here or in this area of West Bengal, but they had like about 1.2 million people attending 2 days ago, and it's a Lord Shiva temple, a very, very huge temple. So if we got this inspiration from Lord Shiva, no doubt, because Lord Shiva is very profound here in Tarakeshwara.
1.2 million people.
Maharaj, say that again.
Did you say 1.2 million people came?
People, yes. 1.2 million devotees from all over India came, and they brought some Ganga water from Calcutta and different areas, and in pots that they were carrying on their shoulders. And they were walking like for 35 kilometers, some that were walking, I believe, 120 kilometers. And they were walking like for 2-3 days and carrying this like bamboo rod with like 2 big pots. And I even believe that I didn't see it, but I seen hundreds of them doing this here. But I even believe that some of them even they would carry their 2 kids on this bamboo rod as a sacrifice for Lord Shiva. I haven't seen that, but I've definitely seen the bamboo rods with the pots with the Ganga water in. But I heard that this happens, that some devotees in their sacrifice and their offering to Lord Shiva, they would carry their kids on this bamboo rod as well, like for 50, 35, 50, 100 kilometers.
So this is a reminder, I don't know exactly what the special day was for Lord Shiva, but when we are in Navadip, then also we see at a certain time, it must be that day, when very similarly, it's the bamboo rod means it's like a thin bamboo rod that normally you carry a water pot on the front and a water pot on the back, like hanging.
On your shoulders.
And these days, my remembrance is that they got plastic flowers and plastic parrot and little bells on the back and the front, as well as the water pot. It seems to be that those plastic flowers have become a tradition. And they're carrying them a long distance. And in Navadip, they are carrying water to a Bururaj Shiva. Bururaj Shiva is renowned as a very powerful, famous Shiva. And it's close, relatively close to Hapanya and to Bamanpara. That's the Shiva that Srila Guru Maharaj worshipped in his young age. He would go to bathe in the Ganges every day. On the way back, he'd bring a lotus or lotuses, offer them to Lord Shiva, and then return to his home. And that Bururaj Shiva is the Shiva that Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj's father used to worship and worship to get a son. And that son, as we very famously know, is Srila Govinda Maharaj. So this day is a famous day. And after Gurudev established the Shiva temple in Navadip, and by the way, about that temple, Gurudev said, it's not that everybody will do that. This is, he said, Govinda Maharaj, I am indebted to Lord Shiva. This service I'm doing for him to give my honor to his grace to me. So he said, this is not, that now everybody will do that. It is quietly, it is my honor to Lord Shiva because I am indebted to him. But after establishing the Shiva temple, then Srila Gurudev, then naturally the Shaivite section, they are coming to Shiva at our temple too, with various offerings and Ganges water. And Gurudev said that the general population, they have the mundane view of Lord Shiva, that Lord Shiva, he can give us things very easily. And of course, that makes everyone interested in the regular world, because the motivation for almost everybody in this world is to get something. So if I please Shiva, I'll get this, I'll get that. But Gurudev said, but they'll come to our Shiva, to Sada Shiva at Govinda Kund, beside Govinda Kund in Chaitanya Saraswat Math. They'll come to our Shiva and they will get Agyata Supriti, because here Shiva is Sada Shiva, not the Shiva of the master of Tamagun. And so this is also a sweet story from Gurudev related to this day and Shiva Ratri, which is, of course, Shiva's day. So many people come and do worship with one intention, but they're going to get something extra by coming to Shiva of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat. And we just got a little message in the box from Praneshwari. Would you like to read your message, Praneshwari?
Yes, Maharaj, I was checking and I found that Srila Acharyadev explained that Tarakeshwar is the place where Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur got the message from Lord Shiva, just like he said before. He wanted to go to Vrindavan, but Lord Shiva gave him a message. Why are you going to Vrindavan? What for? What is your duty? What is your service there? Do not go there. You must discover the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is your duty. That is your service. Gurudev is also a son of Lord Shiva. He always prays to Lord Shiva. He told me, if you want to make something in Govinda Kunda, you must make a Sada Shiva Gangadhar temple there. And I made it. For these reasons, I think that Tarakeshwar is a good place. Tarakeshwar is the name of Sivji Maharaj temple there. The land that we got is near it. That was before it was, the temple was built.
Jai. And it sounds like a quiet temple. In India, we're so used to hearing the honking horns and the shouts and so many things. It sounds like it's a quiet place.
I think Maharaj, with the big festival that just happened, everyone is maybe a bit tired because you do hear the gongs every day. And from where where Tarakeshwara temple is situated, It's not far. You can actually see the domes from here. And you hear it, but I see it, today and last night, I didn't hear much sound emanating from there. So they must be tired of the big 2-3 day festival that they had with all those lots and lots of people attending.
Okay, the quiet after the storm.
Yes, okay. Okay, Maharaj, my dandavats to you and to all the Vaishnavas, all the beautiful souls. And maybe on Sunday, I wish I can show a little bit more about Tarakeshwar when the lordships are, when the altar is done and whatever it is, and we can do a little tour and show a little bit more. But thank you so much, and thank you so much for this opportunity. My dandavats again. Hare Krishna. Jai Gurudev.
And thank you for the connection of the fragrance of Bharatvarsha, the land chosen by Krishna to be like the capital city of the world for showing Krishna Leela and distributing what is proper dharma to everyone. India has a special place. It's another planet while on planet Earth. I think that's the experience of most people about India. So we appreciate that. And we do have Radha Sundari Devirasi with us and Amir Sindhu Prabhu also, who are somewhere in Bharatvarsha. So we are being connected through them. And through all the devotees, we're being connected to the substance of India. Sometimes, and we have hear some people who are very enthusiastic, oh, I'm going to India. But we have a little caution in our mind, okay, going to India, but India is a jungle of spirituality. So when we can connect with the safe path through that jungle, then we will consider that that is a good fortune. Because just to go to India and just we have to let fate guide us no matter what, don't we? But in a dangerous jungle, we have to be even more prayerful that we may be guided properly. So when we get good guidance, we should try to stay safely on the path. So yes, we're being here connected with the spiritual India through the remembrance of the teachings of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Hare Krishna. And dear devotees, okay, I'm just checking the chat box. Any subject or any question? Are we allowed to ask Australia? I saw Rupanuga Prabhu, I think, before, but maybe not, I don't know. But now you are, Kalikaramvarana, Abhinavasundarapu, you are the representatives of the whole continent of Australia right now. Would you like to share a spark of light to the rest of the world? Click. Or are you going to do in sign language? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that is sign language of Hare Krishna. By the way, in one sign language, we now find out that as with languages of the world, there's more than one sign language. How complicated can we make the world? Just see. So were you going to open the microphone, Abhinavasundara Prabhu? No. Humility of the Vaishnava. Humility of the Vaishnava. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
All right. Anyway, we are very happy to be here amongst all the Vaishnavas. This is the main thing, is that we're by ourselves, we're nowhere. With the Vaishnava, we have everything. And it's, it's wonderful to see what's going on there in Latvia. Really amazing. 10-day festival out in the woods, incredible to see. And 30 people, I mean, that's amazing. We probably didn't have that many people on our bus tour.
And actually, I was thinking, Maṭh, that because everyone's been mentioning again Rai, Kishore, and Sudarshan Prabhu, and in a similar way, Priyanana was bringing up that when Sudarshan Prabhu was first in Utah, he was there alone in Sweet Lake City, and because of his mood and together Rai Kishore, they gradually started attracting devotees there, and one by one, and it became this incredibly beautiful community that's like one of the lighthouses in our mission around the world. And you know, that was saying in the talk, that class that everyone's been listening to, that because someone was saying, like, how is it that you have this type of clarity when you're sharing Krishna consciousness and in your own self? And
yeah, did you have it all? Did you always have it, or did you work on, or did it develop in you? Or something?
And you know, they were very humble and saying, well, actually, clarity is not our possession. It's something that can descend, or we hear. You know, we've had a perfect example from our masters, and that's what we're trying to share. But at the same time, like she was saying, that we have to try to, in our own practicing life, try to be, like you just said then, like authentic, and what we're actually feeling in our hearts, to try to connect with what is the thing that's maybe burning or rising in the heart of somebody else, and how to meet that, how to actually understand and feel what their question is, or what they're being what they're searching for, and how in ourselves do we authentically share our own experience and our own meditation and what we've heard from Guru, and try to give something of that, and to see that that's the result of them doing that in their own lives. In Salt Lake City, was they also have this glorious community there, like we're seeing developing there in Latvia. So it's beautiful, and it's very practical. Oh,
Australia is also an example. I think I'm echoed back with your microphone. Australia is also an example that, I mean, I never heard of, and did anybody else here ever hear of Murwillumbah before, or Yukai, or, you know, Murwillumbah was like unpronounceable even before. Now we can pronounce it quite easily. But devotees come to some remote corner of the world, and then, you know, others come, and then you find that automatically you have a community of devotees. And okay, Murwillumbah, that was a more organized way, because the ISKCON devotees, they came there. But otherwise, there would not be anything. It would just be not necessarily outback, but just, you know, a regular, small, you know, Australian town with only beer and shooting kangaroos. Unbelievable. You know, this kind of a culture going on. But now it's a place where, you know, devotional life is prominent. So that happens. But yes, Sudarshan Prabhu and Rai Kishore, they went to Salt Lake City, and then automatically devotees, they heard, oh, then we'll go there. And so the community built up, the center came, and so many people. As Kelly Kadamba mentioned, now, I mean, the world looks to Salt Lake City, Sweet Lake City, and even the city's been renamed because of the devotees being there. Sweet Lake City, just see. And by the way, it's not that Kelly and Abid are the only representatives of Australia today, because Kat is also with us on our Facebook, I noticed. So Kat is with us, and we appreciate always to know that you're with us, Kat, and look forward to being with us in Thailand. So I was very happy to hear that you are confirmed to come. Well done for taking the plunge. And for anyone who runs a business, you know it is very difficult to leave your business for 2 weeks when it's like your own baby that's grown up and you're taking care of. It's very difficult to leave. So well done that you've taken the plunge, relying on Krishna, no doubt. And that's the best thing to do. We need to rely on Krishna. Jai. And Jivana Devirasi is also live from California, where the sun is still shining. Our sun has gone behind the clouds. At least we know it. At least we know it really is existing. We saw it before today.
Maybe some parts of the US were wishing that they could see more clouds. There's a lot of places that are boiling hot, and Canada too. But, anyway, it's so nice to hear from everybody. And I like what Udaran was saying, and also Kaylee and Abhinava Sundar about the devotees and how important it is to have, how great it is when the devotees can finally get together. It was funny because Gangalila and I were laughing because we were seeing each other in person. And we're like, oh, we're actually 3D here. And it's so nice because mostly the way I know her is through the Zoom calls. And so that was really sweet. And there were just so many devotees, and it just sort of felt like, I don't know, it's maybe just my imagination, but really when you're kind of walking around and you keep meeting this devotee and that devotee and that devotee, it's just sort of things how, you know, just some little teeny weeny thought of how maybe in the spiritual world it is, where everything is devotional and everything that you see and run into is so devotional. Because you will run into these devotees and always there's some amazing conversations, or they're remembering something or thinking of something. Nanda Priya gave a really nice little talk, very informal talk, but she spoke a lot about her time with Gurudev. She and Deva Bandhu, as you know, were there. And she gave that talk, was really nice. And one of the things that she said she heard Gurudev say was, when we chant, to think of, there's different things he advises to think, you know, please purify me, please appear in my heart. And one thing she said was that he said one time that I am yours and you are mine. And that just, everybody was like, wow. And then when we went to class later, Sudarshan found that there's a kirtan by, I think it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur, called Atma Nivedan. And in there, it has a very similar phrase like that in there. And that was really, really wonderful for everybody to think about. Just a lot of beautiful activities. And we had Shama Mohini was there with Braja. That was really wonderful to see Shama Mohini looking okay, looking good, halfway through her program. And that they had the beach bonfire as usual, and a beautiful Harinam downtown Santa Cruz. And also they did the Harinam up to the top of the hill with the Shilas, the Giriraj Shilas. I was looking at the altar. Someone had sent me a picture of the altar, and I said, am I just missing something? Or are there a couple of Shilas missing here? And it was Parameshwar. He had been dressing the deities that morning. And he said, nope, they went to the top of the hill. I was like, oh, right. But so that was really wonderful. And so.
And that is a beautiful place to chant, the top of the hill. I mean, many places are there. It's a beautiful ashram, but the top of the hill, you can see the sea in the distance. You see the valley, you see the temple, the ashram there in the bottom of the valley. And it's just such, and the sunrise from there. It is a wonderful place to chant. And Giriraj must be very happy to be up there and to be worshipped up on the hill. Beautiful. Yes, Jeevan, I think I interrupted you somehow.
No, you didn't interrupt at all. I was just thinking how when you were here some years ago that we went to the top of the hill for the sunrise and sang Viva Bharvi Sesha Aloka Provesha, and how enchanting that whole area is. It's very true. So that's about it. We had devotees from everywhere. We had devotees who drove from Florida. Okay, that's a long drive. And we had Maheshwari from Hungary and Revati from Ecuador. And we had Nanda Priya from Brazil, but we had other Brazilians there. They're not from there anymore, but it was so funny because they'd get together and they could speak Portuguese together. You know, Bimala, Anandamai, Goranga, and Murari. I don't know if you know Murari, but he's also originally from Brazil. So anyway,
Anandamai.
I'm sorry.
Anandamai, David.
Yes, Anandamai. Yes, she was there. She organized a lot of things. She's very good with setting people up and forcing people to, I mean, allowing people to speak. And
Little slip of the tongue there.
a little slip of the tongue, just a slip of the tongue. But it's really super wonderful having them here in town now. So that was really good. And there's so many things I know I'm missing a million things, but I'm happy that Kaylee, because I'm going to send to you guys a link. We did have some really amazing classes. And just hope something.
Did you attend the game? She says a game, but where you try to identify which ashram is which from the Google Earth satellite images? Did you attend?
I didn't attend that. I was in a class with Rai Kishore and Sudarshan at that time. So I missed that one because, you know, at the Mela, there's different functions going on at different times. So you may be in one place and something else is going on. So I missed that. Did you hear anything about it?
No, I did hear that it was a good, it was a good program, but it was that program that the South African ashram was also included, which is the earlier part I mentioned.
Oh, I was wondering why he said that. I was wondering why you mentioned that we had mentioned South Africa. That's how it came up. Very nice.
And then I know because she consulted with me before and we were like discussing about places, because trying to remember the ashrams and Gurudev's Leela, some pastimes, some things of Gurudev's pastimes around the world. So this came up in that. And so also Australia, the UK ashram, the South African ashram, some which were maybe a little recognizable from the sky, and then some Leela of Gurudev in those places. So again, with some variety, bringing the attention to the message of our masters and the personality of our masters too.
Srila Gurudev always liked to say that the sun never sets on the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva mission.
And as we are proof right now, we've got Australia, which, it's afternoon anyway. We've got here, which is morning, and the sun rose and then hid behind the clouds. And we've got yourselves there where the sun must be going down, I suppose.
Yes, yep.
And then we've got Hawaii where the sun has set, but it'll rise soon. But we do have Hawaii, devotees on Hawaii. All right. And Tungarasadit is also with us, by the way, from Norway. And that's quite close to us here if we stand on the top. Oh, by the way, okay, we can't show it on the thing. There's a very tall, like just a metal, like pylon structure just nearby here with a small hut on the top. And I thought, oh, what a nice bhajan kutia this is. And it's actually a lookout tower for forest fires, because we're in it's a heavily forested area. But I thought, oh, what a nice job to have sit up in that hut, and there you can simply chant Hare Krishna and see Hare Krishna. A different perspective of the world. All right, Ajita Krishna, many thanks for your contribution, for pointing this out about Tarakeshwar, and then we got the transcript of Acharya Maharaj mentioning about the Tarakeshwar. And to each of you who we haven't given an opportunity to speak today as such, but to each of you who are here with us, then appreciating your presence. And Leela Moy Prabhu, happy to hear that you are now Facebook savvy. I find Facebook keeps on doing strange things and challenging us to have it working properly. And so far, so good today that we've got it working. So we hope that on our next little broadcast we'll have it functioning okay too. And to Dana, to Amya Sindhu, Sevarupa Devidasi, Priyanana Muktinath, Ganga Leela, and Jeevana Devidasi, our Australian contingent, and Radha Sundari, I think, and to all those who will see also the recorded version a little later on. Then to all of you, our appreciation, our obeisances. Here, the Arati, morning Arati is about to take place, not 4:30, but 6:30 out of practicality. By the way, the programs here go on until 11:30. 11:30 p.m. is lights out. Oh my goodness. So please excuse we don't have a full house of our contingent here. But very quietly, Keshwananvu's joined us and he's sitting way in the back here. He's the lively star of the programs here. And we're very happy to be together and with the sweet Latvian devotees. And please, all of you, give your grace. Victor and Inya here behind me, professional persons who have got much faith in the holy name for many years, and they're trying to charge their batteries to keep on going. So please give them your gracious glance. And here we are. Let us all glance at each other and help each other out on our path home. What's the name of this program? The Joy? The Joyful, what?
Joyful journey to joy.
Something, okay. It doesn't roll off. They got the t-shirts. Who's wearing a t-shirt? Nobody. Okay, anyway, it's in Latvian or Russian. It's something like the joyful journey to joy. Your journey to joy. Oh yes. Okay, Muktinathru in Thailand. He designed the t-shirt. Thank you, Muktinathru. And it's a nice t-shirt. Your journey to joy retreat in Latvia. So from all of us here to all of you all over the world, our obeisances and big jais to Gurudev, Om Vishnupad, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, to Srila Guru Maharaj, Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, founder and charger of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Maharaj ki jai. And Jai Srila Prabhupada, Om Vishnupad, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder and charger of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The practical head of this Sampradaya that's brought the clarity, this word that Rai Kishore using, clarity of Krishna consciousness to the world, ki jai. And of course, Jai Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, all the indispensable devotees in the link coming from Rupa Goswami and Mahaprabhu, the Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga ki jai. All the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki jai. And all the unlimited Vaishnavas all over the world, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila Bhaktiranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
With obeisances and heart. Dandavat, Dandavat. Have a good week and we'll see you soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
Each of you. Thank you so much. Nitai Gaur Premanand. Hari Hari.
Jai. Dhanavad.
Dandavat.
So special, so beautiful, wonderful. And as Priyanana said, so inspiring to see how it grows from one person, 2, 3, 5, and there 30. So beautiful. Bless you all. Amiya Sinu Prabhu, next time, please come and join us. Open your camera. Hare Krishna. Dandava Pranams.